Brentford 3, Liverpool 2, the fourth league defeat on the bounce for Liverpool Football Club. Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Manchester United, and now Brentford all leave an L on the bedpost of Liverpool Football Club. Crisis at Anfield right now. They cannot buy a win. And do you know what? Today they did more long balls than Man United did at Anfield, which is an interesting statistic. Jamie Carragher's going to feel silly after going on about set pieces and long throws after conceding to a penalty and to a long throw today. But we're here. We're going to break it down. We want your thoughts. We want your opinions. But this is a decisive, this is a gargantuan defeat for Liverpool. A big fair play to Brentford, who I think have shocked so many people this year. Keith Andrews, the new signings. That club is so well run. That club knows its identity. That club knows how to operate, and they deserve all of their plaudits. Big up to everybody that's joined us from That's Football. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe. Turn on that bell notification to the Football Terrace if you haven't done so already. But my God, what are we witnessing at Liverpool? This is genuinely, I'm not being, no hyperbole, no exaggeration. This is catastrophic on every single level. That cannot be played down. That cannot be undermined. That cannot be written off in any way, shape, or form. Even as a Man United fan, I'm watching this and I'm finding it difficult to articulate. I'm finding it difficult to break down. I don't want to come across as being bitter, nasty, and horrible, because that's not my way personally. But this is a shambles, an absolute shambles at Liverpool Football Club right now. It truly, truly is. We're going to go for your comments as well. Your opinions, your thoughts, your feelings are more important than mine, if I'm being honest with you. That's the way we operate at the Football Terrace. But wow. I'm a little bit in shock. I don't know about you, but I'm in shock. I don't know about you. I didn't see this coming. Not on any level whatsoever. I didn't see this coming. What's going on? Genuinely, what is going on? Arne Slot against Frankfurt brings Robertson back in, drops Mohamed Salah, goes to a more of a 4-4-2 shape. And they play well. Liverpool play well. Liverpool win the game. Liverpool deliver. On every single level, we see that happen. They score lots of goals. They're defensively very sound. And you think, okay, you found the remedy. You stopped exploiting your centre-backs. There is not as big a gap between them and the fullbacks. The midfield doesn't get bypassed as easily. The creativity was there. Yes, Alexander Isak gets injured, so you've got an injury to contend with. But what does Arne Slot do? The very next Premier League game. By the way, after revealing publicly on 3 occasions in the same week that if you go long against us, we can't cope. If you go direct against us, we struggle. What we need for you to do is play openly, expansively, and with the ball on the ground, and we play our best football. Arne Slot outed this. Arne Slot spoke about this. Now, if you know anything about Brentford, when they play against the bigger and better sides, there's a lot of long balls. There's a lot of direct football, a lot of sitting deep, a lot of cancelling out spaces, and preying on the counter-attack. Now, I'm telling you now, Jamie Carragher is going to be fuming. The fact that the opening goal, excellently finished by Ouattara, terrible defending, by the way, from Kirkes, why he's back in the first team. Now, I'm a Man United fan, and I'm angry at Slot. How are you still picking Kirkes? Forget the goal. Robertson scores that. Robertson must start. Kirkes is not it right now. Asleep for the first goal. But Carragher's going to be fuming because he spent a big part of the week slagging off and attacking the direct nature that football's gone in. He spent a lot of the week, instead of maybe giving Liverpool constructive criticism, instead of being honest, he slammed it, tried to say that it was embarrassing and horrible and nasty. I don't think any Brentford fan right now feels that the way they scored their goals today were embarrassing, were nasty, were horrible. What they did was absolutely fantastic. There's no doubt about it. Absolutely fantastic on every single level. The second goal, because they abandoned the shape from the Champions League that got them their best overall performance of the season, they're overcommitting too early in the game. What are Van Dijk and Konate doing? They're not with one another. Van Dijk's pushed forward. Konate's dropping off. It creates a space. Sharda's played in. Brilliant ball by Damsgaard. I'm taking nothing away from him. Brilliant ball. But the centre-backs are all at sea. Sharda, who's got great paces in on goal. Konate can't make a tackle, can't make a challenge, because if he brings him down, it's over. It's done. It's finished. And Mamardashvili in goal dived the wrong way. 2-0 Brentford. The game looked dead and buried. And a well-worked goal at the end of the first half, well taken by Kirkes, gave Liverpool some hope. But if we're honest, if we're frank, if we're direct, Liverpool did very little in that second half. Mo Salah scored a fantastic goal. But then, of course, they gave away the penalty. And for me, on first glance, it looked like a free kick. And we'll show you the graphics just now. You can see here, that's the contact. I thought it was outside the box. But on closer inspection, you can see that the contact is first made inside on the line. Therefore, it is a penalty. Slack from Virgil van Dijk. He had no reason to kind of make that tackle there at that point. 59 minutes on the clock. You're trying to get a foothold back in the game. The penalty's well taken, and the game was all but done. Yes, there was the late goal from Mo Salah. There was a little bit of nerves towards the end from Brentford, especially as the game went over by 3, 4, 5 minutes over the 7 minutes that were added on. But by and large, Arne Slot got things massively wrong today. After finding a solution, after finding a way that worked midweek, completely went against it today. And then you've got the individual players who I don't think can be let off. Virgil van Dijk, one of the greatest centre-backs in Liverpool's history, woeful today. Kirkes, why did he not know how to defend? I'm asking a genuine, not rhetorical, why does he suddenly not know how to defend? Wirtz, system or no system, an absolutely abject, poor, almost painful performance to watch. Almost painful to watch on every single level. 83 minutes he spent on the football pitch. One chance created in that entire time. A really, really poor performance from him. I know Mo Salah scored his goal, and it was sublime. It was a sublime goal. But outside of it, woeful. On every single level, woeful. No defending it. No matter how good I think Mo Salah has been, no matter how good I think his legacy is in the Premier League, today, barring that goal, was poor on every single level. There's barely a Liverpool player that walks away from today with any kind of credibility. The goalkeeper, my word, he was bad. And Liverpool season's imploding. And I'm someone that spent a lot of this summer talking about how good the transfer business was. Don't change my mind. I still think you've signed good players. Spoke a lot about how fantastic you were last season. And I know some changes have been made, but it feels bigger than that. It feels like a lack of motivation. It feels like a lack of belief. It feels as though there's an element of complacency. There is some arrogance from Arne Slot right now as to you've made changes to the system. They've been exploited. You made a change midweek against Frankfurt. Well done, you. You saw the benefits to that. And then you go back again, and then you go against it. Then you go against it, get beat up. I know 3-2 doesn't look like a beating, but Liverpool, considering who they are, who they've signed, who's in their team, it's a beating. It's a beating. They were thoroughly outclassed for large parts of that game. They were. In the last maybe 10 minutes, they maybe caught up on a bit of XG, maybe caught up on shots on goal. But for large parts of that game, Brentford, A club whose brand new stadium costs less than 90% of the players' value in this current Liverpool squad. It's nowhere near the standard. And I've defended Arne Slot a lot this season, but I'm not defending him today because he found a solution and he went against it. But equally, these players, when I look at these players for Liverpool, listen, Liverpool supporters can do what they want. It's their football club. More power to them. Their football club. Fair play. But when I look at this team, I think to myself, Mamardashvili doesn't look like a Liverpool player. Konate, the season he's had. Van Dijk today, poor. I think Jones and Szoboszlai didn't have bad games. I don't think they were particularly bad. That's just me. Gakpo today, poor. Salah, woeful. Wirtz, woeful. Ekitike, look, I'm not going to go in too hard because he's had a good season. There's some credit in the bank this year. But again, nowhere near the level that he needs to be. Nowhere near the level that he needs to be. But the decisions from Arne Slot, Chiesa not starting again. Robertson not starting over Kirkes. I think Mo Salah starting whatsoever. It just shows that when he's dropped in for these Champions League games, it's been rotation. It hasn't been about trying to find a solution. And that would worry me. Because if Arsenal and City both win tomorrow, suddenly that gap at the top starts to really increase. And then what you have to start doing is looking at some of the next fixtures that are on the way. Then you have to start looking at some of the other fixtures that are on the horizon for Liverpool. And I was looking at them before I went live. And you look at Liverpool's up-and-coming fixtures across all comps. They've got home to Palace in the League Cup, fair. Then they play Aston Villa. Then they play Real Madrid. They've got 3 home games on the bounce, but they're hard. Then they go away to Manchester City before the international break. And right now, in the league, they don't look like they can buy a win. And before they play City, they've got to play Real Madrid. Before they play Real Madrid, they've got Aston Villa. So rotation is going to be needed. They've got some injuries as well. And Slot isn't finding solutions. And he has to be called out for that, in my personal opinion. Look, I'd love your views. I'd love to get your opinions on this. Like the stream if you could. Like the content if you could. Please hype it up. Please leave your comments below as well. But Liverpool, they are truly, truly in a crisis right now. Let's go to some of your comments that have come through here live. Let me get these up on the screen. I don't want to miss these. This first one says here. Where's it gone? I can't see it. It says Van Dijk throws that elbow every game. Absolute penalty. I felt that was more of a penalty than the penalty that Brentford got, if I'm being absolutely honest. I thought it was more of a penalty than the one Brentford got. I really did. I couldn't understand why they went that way around. No midfield, no creativity, no defense. Slot needs to reset and go back to basics. I'm losing my mind with how bad we have been. How the hell is that a penalty? But Gakpo's is not a penalty. You never walk alone. Look, Gakpo's for me, I can't see the contact until after he's already falling. And I think what they've done, if they give it, I think if they give it in real time, you keep the penalty. I think what VAR has done is reviewed it and said there's minimal contact and he's already going down. They're sticking with the ref's call. I think what Gakpo was hoping for is that the contact was going to come a little bit sooner. But the Brentford player just didn't quite put his foot across as much. So I think you're in that kind of space with that, my friend. Almost 12 minutes of time added on suspects. Well, they added 7 minutes on, which was probably about fair for goals and stoppages, VAR. But then there was a stoppage for the head injury. And they stopped it for about 3 to 4 minutes and they added that back on again. So it was in and around the right amount, to be fair. Sorry, but Slot needs to go. You can't lose 4, is what Ryan says here. Well, look, Slot out is currently the #1 trend here in the UK across social media. So whether you're Slot out, whether you're Slot in, listen, I'd love to hear your opinions on that. But right now, trending across social media is Slot out. That is the #1. That is the #1 trending topic right now on social media. What do you make of that, people? The ref did everything he could to hand Liverpool the win, is what DK35 says here. Well, barring them giving a penalty against them and not awarding Liverpool a penalty, but yeah. Terry, I love to see the Liverpool tears, is what Irish Wiki says. Listen, as a Man United fan, it is great to see. It is. But there's also part of me that's just almost more confused with what Liverpool are doing than I am laughing at them. I'm genuinely shocked. On every level, I am shocked with what's going on. The ref needs to be called out. Shameful from him, is what Christian says here. News will be about Liverpool, but Sunderland. Wow. Yeah, Sunderland. What a start to this season. I think Sunderland. What a start to this season. You look at what Leeds are doing. It's fantastic. Brentford are shocking people. Pipped for relegation. And there's another team that were pipped to finish about 15th this year, currently sitting 4th in the league. I don't know who they are. Liverpool stung. Yeah, they got stung today. Bad, man. They got stung. Big up tell. Sunderland is number 2. It's mad. Yeah, I can't believe it. I can't believe how well they've started. I bet on Brentford. Thanks for the money, is what Rosie says here. Dean B says, just City and Arsenal to lose tomorrow, and we're making a title charge. Glory, glory, Man United. Listen, I'm not getting anywhere near ahead of myself in that regard. But it would actually be amazing for the league if Arsenal and City lost tomorrow. Just from everybody being so close on points, it would be phenomenal. I vaped crepe here. Says 4 points off top and you're not playing well. What happens when Liverpool starts playing like we know they can? No Liverpool issue present, in my opinion. Look, I think you're deluding yourself to say there's no problems, because the performances in the original wins were not particularly great. And you got some Champions wins in there where you weren't great, but you managed to pull off the victory. And that will always, by me, be credited. I expected by now, 9 games in, for you to be playing much better football, for you to be stringing passes together, purring, making teams look bad. And that isn't happening. And what we've seen in the last 4 league matches is those results catch up with the performances. And until Liverpool start performing better, there isn't going to be a huge turnaround with these wins. Can I see them winning 5, 6, 7 games on the bounce if the performances don't improve? No. And when you look at City right now, with the way Haaland's scoring, way Donnarumma's playing, and the team's performing, they're going to win a lot of games. If you look at Arsenal right now, of course, teams can draw, they can lose. But can I see Arsenal or City losing 4 on the bounce? Not right now. And look, 4 points could become 7 points tomorrow. Off the top. That starts to look like a different picture. The next 2 games, Villa, Man City. Maybe you win one of them, maybe you lose one of them. If Arsenal go on to win the next 3 games, that means you could go into the international break 10 points off the top. And then when you consider just 4 to 5 games ago, you were leading by 3 or 4 points. That is a gargantuan swing. And there's a psychological piece of damage that does as well. The only good player for Liverpool was Szoboszlai. Come on, you gooners, is what Ibrahim says here. Chelsea and Liverpool showing why Arsenal will win the league via set-piece dominance. Only team prepared to handle the smaller teams that get stuck in and go long. It's a very good point. It's a very good point. But I do think City have adapted too. You could tell by the way City are operating and the way City are playing that they're doing something really, really different now in the way they play. Get the Ten Hag wannabe out today. Enough. That's 2 Liverpool fans on the show calling for Arne Slot to go. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'd love to get your views on that, people. Slot, this was not the game for Wirtz. I don't think there's any game for Wirtz at the minute. I know that people want him. I thought he was good in the Champions League, but I just feel like in the Premier League, he just seems a yard too slow, a few kilos too light. Although he was good in the Champions League and he probably deserved to start, how he lasted 80 odd minutes is beyond me. Arne Slot adjusted just bits from Klopp last season. This season, it's his way, his own words last season. P.S. Told you in my predictions. Credit to me. Harold, in fairness, you did. I have to say, you predicted everything that's happening to Liverpool right now, even after the summer signings. And Harold got a lot of stick in our comment section throughout the summer. Delusional, silly, stupid. There's no way Liverpool are going to be that bad, etc. But it does turn out everything that Harold said is absolutely true. Absolutely true on every single level. So, look, from my point of view and perspective, I've got to give you credit. I still think Liverpool can turn this round. I'm still not sitting in a world where I go, this is Liverpool now for the season. I still don't see Liverpool finishing where they currently sit. I still don't see Liverpool being the team that comes sixth this campaign. They will get better, in my opinion, but fair play to you, Harold. I bet they wish they could defend and score set pieces. You know what's really crazy? There may not be correlation and causation, but when you see what Arne Slot has complained about, the long balls, the ball not being on the ground, old-fashioned football, when you look at what the Jamie Carragers of this world have complained about this last week, because a lot of teams are set up to use those tactics as a weapon, it's not the only way they can play, but it's how they're going to play against Liverpool. It's how they're going to play against Arsenal. It's how they're going to play against the bigger and better, more valuable teams. It's going to be extra motivation for them. Sometimes in life, I talk about keeping your powder dry. I talk about not upsetting the footballing gods. Now, there aren't really footballing gods. It's a turn of phrase. What the footballing gods kind of are is the way that your words can motivate somebody. The way that what you say and do. If you've watched the Football Terrace for long enough, there's been many a final, especially right back to 2017, when everybody predicted that Arsenal would get whacked by Chelsea in the FA Cup final, right through to Man United City FA Cup final in 2024. United finished, going to get whacked, smashed, ruined, awful. There are certain games where I go, it's going to go the other way, purely because I think too many people are predicting the opposite result. And I think that gets into dressing rooms. I think it creates complacency at one end, but I think it helps to motivate at the other. And I think in this last couple of weeks, things that Slot have said, things that Carragher have said, I think it helps motivate opponents. We'll show you. We'll show you. Come on, you Gooners. I can feel us winning this, is what Prince Presh has got to say here. Sam has given up the Premier League in October after the third goal. He said, good luck to Arsenal and City. May the best team win. Wow. Are any other Liverpool fans giving up hope of winning the Premier League? Are you done with it now? Do you think it's finished? Do you think it's over? I'd love to get your views and your opinions on that in our comment section. I can't believe, Pav, that Husam has given up. I can't believe that he has walked away. Really? Man. He must be broken. You guys wait till tomorrow morning. Forget the league. Liverpool may not get top four. Well, if their performances don't improve, it's a very fair prediction. Performances dictate consistency of results, and they always have done, which is why you can win and still criticize the team, and why you can lose and praise the team. Because if you lose but you played really, really well, but you consistently play really, really well, eventually your results are going to turn around. I always thought that was a basic understanding of the game, but it seems to have dissipated. I think if Brentford didn't already have a penalty, the elbow would have been given. Sounds strange, but I feel like it's fair to see more than one pen. AJ, I believe this in football. I believe sometimes if a team gets an early red card, I believe the opponents are always susceptible for a much softer red card to even up the playing field. I think if you get one penalty, if it's a stonewaller, then I think it's harder to get your next penalty. It has to be another stonewaller. But if it's dubious, you might not get it. Sometimes, though, they might make a mistake and they should have given you a penalty, and then you might get a really soft decision later in the game. I've always felt they make up for their mistakes sometimes in game like that. 11K watching, only 900 likes. Hit the like button. Yeah, I'd be honest with you guys. There's just over 11,000 watching. Let's get those likes up if you haven't done so already. That would be amazing if you guys could hit that like button for us, please. I appreciate you all being here, but like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. If that's the case for Liverpool, what would happen to United if Lemens got injured? Wouldn't that potentially make Amorim lose games like Slot is? So take a guess why Liverpool are struggling. Listen, I do think the injuries are playing a part. Of course, I think the injuries are playing a part, because I'm not one of these amoebas who says that injuries are never an excuse. Of course, they play a part in why you don't improve. But at the same time, you were having these poor performances when Alisson was in goal. He was just making saves. But the beginning period of these losses came with him in goal as well. So let's not get that twisted. He was in goal for the majority of the Galatasaray game. He was in goal for the Crystal Palace game. So it wasn't you were amazing, one player got injured and your team fell off. So we're not going to play that game. But thank you for the super chat, bro. It's been coming since last season. I kept saying they just aren't very good. Last year, City and us, Mr. Tybox is an Arsenal fan, were just awful and ravaged by injury. We're seeing it now. It's no more complicated than that. They are washed. What I would say to your claim, to give it some clarity, you and City definitely weren't as good last season as you've been so far. That being said, Liverpool currently sit on 15 points so far this season after 9 games. If we go back to last season and look at the first 9 games, Liverpool had 22 points. So Liverpool were a much better team at this stage last season. So I agree that, City actually started the season very well last year and hadn't lost a game in the first 9, had 23 points. They had a very good start to the season, but there were some issues with the performances. Arsenal actually had 18 points last year, so only 1 point worse off. But Liverpool are nowhere near as good either. Social media is so intrusive and over dramatic. It will be Arteta out as well if they lose tomorrow. 1 loss and it's head loss with certain fans. That's from Mark. Yeah, listen, I can't tell Liverpool fans how to feel about their club. I can't tell them what they should be asking for, what they shouldn't be asking for. But I personally wouldn't sack him right now. I personally wouldn't do it. I personally wouldn't be the one. I wouldn't be calling for it. But it's Liverpool fans' clubs, Mark. And I think if they feel that way, they should do it. If they feel that way, then they should say it. Liverpool at the moment are what people expected City to be. Arnie is getting awfully exposed. He might have to walk alone. 4 losses on the bounce is historically bad. It's also, again, they said a stat during the commentary, which I was staggered by. It's the first time in over 50 years that Liverpool have lost 5 consecutive games in London. They haven't done that for 50 odd years. It's their worst run of wins. It is 5 defeats in 6 games. It's one of their worst runs of form in decades. If you think about it from a defending champion's perspective, it's one of the worst runs of form that a defending champion has ever had. And there is huge pressure. But I think what you couple into that, and this is why I understand Abraham and to Mark's previous super chat, this is why I understand some Liverpool fans calling him out. It isn't just bad records being broken. It isn't just a terrible period in their season. It isn't just that they're doing all that whilst champions. It's the £420 million of additional talent. It's the new contracts and the re-signings of your greatest ever centre-back and one of your greatest ever attackers in Van Dijk and Mohamed Salah. I think it's the combination of everything. The most historic summer Liverpool have had. People like myself praised it. I didn't see this coming. I'll hold my hands up. I'd never said Liverpool would run away with the league. I think I might have said on a few videos, they're done, they're going to win the league, because I was panicking about what they were doing as from a United fan perspective. But when I broke it all down, I said I gave them marginal favourites over Arsenal. I thought Arsenal would have a very good year. I didn't imagine this at all. Even in the first 3 or 4 games where they weren't playing great, but they were getting wins, I really expected to see Liverpool continue to improve. I can't believe we're here. 3 flattened Liverpool, 14 conceded. These midfields said are better than Arsenal's, cannot control games, struggling versus athletic and physical low block teams. They are right now. By the way, not Palace. They didn't play Palace today. Brentford. I do want to say as well about them. You reminded me when you mentioned their team. Great technicians, some wonderful athletes. And maybe this is for another day. Maybe it's a conversation for another day. But there's this sort of element of teams like Brighton, teams like Bournemouth, teams like Brentford. They have kind of like an identity, and they will sign a particular kind of manager or player that fits their identity, and they very rarely yield from it. And you've seen, just like at Brighton. Now, someone's like Brighton mid-table, Terry, but with the size of their club, the income they have, the wage bill they have, they're still in a good place for a club their size. And they've gone to Keith Andrews, Brentford, and we all thought, set piece coach, they're in trouble. But I think he's done a fantastic job so far. Sitting 9th in the league, they really won't be. Sorry, that's last season's league. Where are they? What is it? 10th in the league, 13 points. I think they'll be very, very comfortable with that. Brilliant. Eric Ten Slot lost to an ex-set piece coach. They've conceded twice as much as Sunderland. Is that true? So, yeah, Liverpool have now conceded. Wow, Liverpool conceded 14 goals this season. Yeah, they've scored 16. I mean, it's crazy how close their record actually is to Man United's. Both played 9 games. Both won 5. We've drawn 1 and lost 3. They've drawn none and lost 4. They've scored 16 and conceded 14. We've scored 15 and conceded 14. However, the difference in between the two teams is we're actually improving where they're getting worse. I still think Liverpool will turn it round, though. Those 4 defeats on the bounce. Next up, Villa, who themselves are on a little bit of a resurgence. They've got City next. But they're 3 wins on the bounce, no defeat in 5. They're not going to be an easy game. They're not going to be an easy game at all. They're really, really not. Yeah, and see, I'll get you to speak first, bro, when I bring everybody on. No worries, bro. I've just seen your comment. Thank you. Can you ask Husam if long throws are sustainable? Saw the video the other day about dramatic takes, buzzwords, etc. Kaz, and it will be the same tonight. The people will come on your show tonight, showcase everything you meant, and overreact. Some will, and some will get called out for it. And sometimes people say to me, why don't you call out everything? It's really hard for me to call everything out. I'll tell you as to why. Because you may want me to call something out, but I see it differently from you. It's kind of the job of the audience as well. Like, I will challenge what I want to challenge, what I can challenge, or what I think should be challenged. But the job of the audience is to also do that. And Mark, again, I appreciate the super chats, bro. Thank you. Liverpool scoring goals isn't sustainable. Hate watch Husam, but it was like kicking a puppy. Yeah, I got sent a picture of how sad he looks at 2-0 down, and I felt bad. I didn't feel like laughing. But wait for the edit tomorrow morning. I want to stay level-headed, but come on, you gooners. Let's put them in the rear view and make them chase us. Come on, Villa, tomorrow, and let's beat the Eagles and create a gap. Well, that's one thing I would say. I mean, and it is an if right now, if Aston Villa were to get a result, a draw or beat City, and Arsenal were to win, you're suddenly then sitting there, and I don't mean this rudely to Sunderland, because I don't think Sunderland will maintain this, but then suddenly there could be a 5-point gap or a 6-point gap over City and a 7-point gap over Liverpool. And what a place that would be for Arsenal 9 games into a season. Fantastic for you guys. I said there was too much turnover in the summer. Seb, you did. Big up, Seb. I hope you're watching. One of our contributors and one of our panelists. And you were right. And a lot of people called this out. A lot of people called that out. A lot of people said they felt the same. And so I listened to the Liverpool fans, and it turns out they were wrong, and I was wrong to listen to them. That they said, the core's really good, and because the core's staying, it won't be a problem. You know, sometimes you feel like you should stick to your guns, but you do. We all listen to other people. Sometimes when you have a massive amount of turnover of players in the summer, it takes a while to re-embed. Viet's put the mid in midfield. Corner FC versus Long Throws FC coming soon. Sunderland favourites to win the league. Lol. Can you spend you can spend all the money in the world, but above all, it has to gel. Seen it so many times. Money helps, but it doesn't guarantee success. Do you know what I will say about all of that, though? Maybe it was a bang average sporting director allowing this money to be spent, I wouldn't have looked at it as so worrying. But because Hughes and Edwards were behind it, I thought it would work straight away. And by the way, it still might work. I'm not sitting here saying these players are never going to come good. They're never going to click. It might need a new coach to make it click, by the way. But you are right. What is Slot going to moan about tonight is what Ginger Bish has got to say here. Brentford on X must have been the unchanged team. Arsenal won't beat Crystal Palace. Terry, stop it. I'm just pointing out if they do. I mean, listen, like I said earlier in the stream, if Crystal Palace are able to take points off Arsenal tomorrow, if Villa can take points off City, imagine, let's say Arsenal draw. Imagine the team top of the league have 20 points. And you can go right down to 10th. It's only separated by 7 points. So 6 would only be separated by 5 points. Imagine the top 10 in the whole league only separated by 5 to 7 points. 9 games into a season. We're almost 25% of the way through. Amazing. It'd be amazing. Absolutely amazing for that to happen. It truly, truly would. If you're going to share the link with a couple of other people, if you guys want to phone in, we're going to put the link into the live chat as well. We'd love to take some calls on this tonight. I'm going to pin that into the live chat. I'm also going to share it. One sec. Oops, I didn't mean to write that in capitals. It always looks so aggressive when you write in capitals. Does look like, though, a lot of the Liverpool fans that normally jump on are bottling it tonight. A lot of them. No, KJ said no responses. No one's come back to him. They've been ignoring him all evening. It's not very nice, is it? It's not very nice. I know people have lives, but yeah, it's not very nice. One second. I've been sent so many messages. All day I've been sent so many messages, and I've just not even been able to get around to them. One sec. Right, we're going to start bringing some people on now to have their say. If you haven't done it yet, please get that like button here. Make sure you are subscribing to the Terrace. I just want to let everyone know as well. I mean, huge live stream numbers tonight. I think we maxed out at about 11,500 people watching. Over 52,000 people have already tuned into the show, which can I just say, I know some of you come for the panels, some of you come for me, some of you come to talk to each other in the chat. But I just want to say a big thank you to each and every single one of you that has tuned into the show, to all of our super chatters, everyone who liked. It's always so humbling to see so many people here week in, week out for these match reaction shows, which we know are the kind of lifeblood and the heart and soul of the Football Terrace. It's what we started doing. But I always like to thank you all, because I think it's important to recognize that. Let me move my scoreboard off my screen. Let me just move that away. I'll trigger some people a little bit less, especially Samuel that I can see backstage. Who we got here? We've got Samuel, we've got Ash, we've got Sia. What have I just gone and done here? I've pressed the wrong button. There we go. I'm going to go to Sia first, because Sia, what do you want to say, bro?
What's up, bro? Hopefully you guys can hear me.
I can hear you. If you can keep the swearing to a minimum, that would be amazing.
Oh, no. It's not one of those days. Calm down.
Okay. Only because you messaged me privately saying I'm absolutely going to destroy Slot. That's why I said that. That's all.
Nah, come on, bro. Come on. Don't blow it out of proportion. But
That's what you said.
if you remember, I think it was before we played Palace in the Community Shield. I kind of alluded to the way that our squad was built. I had some criticisms, let me say, because if you look at how we've played so far, our press has still been kind of good, but the midfield is a problem. Why? Because, like I said, we don't have a defensive midfielder. Gravenberg has covered that whole thing well, but he's not a defensive midfielder. He's not. And fuck's sake. The biggest issue right now with Liverpool is we can't control the midfield. We can't defend those midfield positions, which leaves us open to the counter attack. It leaves us open to regular attacks. And what does that resort to? We concede goals. Hey, lo and behold, I told you guys on the group chats that Liverpool are going to concede goals this season, and it's happening. And the one thing that pisses me off is on a slot, which was a manager that I was backing from the beginning, he's not getting the best out of anyone. He's not getting the best out of any single player in our squad. And that's a manager problem. Because if you can look at our squad and you can say, like, he was getting the best out of Gravenberg, he was getting the best out of Soboslai or certain players, but he's not getting the best out of anyone. That's a manager problem, bro, if we're being honest. And I said from the beginning that Arsenal are going to be better than us because they have a better squad. They have a better midfield because they are more equipped to deal with the current, how can I say, the current requirements of a Premier League midfield. You need physicality, you need technical, you need technical nous. Our midfield is light on physicality. You can bully McAllister. You can bully Curtis Jones. You can bully Florian Wirtz. Our midfield is light, bro. It is so fucking light, and it's frustrating to watch because it doesn't matter which team we play against. We play against Galatasaray, they bullied us. We played against Crystal Palace, they bullied us. We played against Arsenal, they half bullied us, but Soboslai came up with a moment of brilliance. We played against United. United bullied us. Manchester fucking United bullied us. Imagine. So the issue is,
You've also seen the league table. Man United are above you. We're above you. You seen that?
Terry, shut up. Shut up, Terry. Shut up, Terry.
It's actually the funniest joke anyone could make.
Terry, you're not funny. Shut up. Thing is, Terry, with Man United, you guys didn't just bully us physically. You outworked us. You had more desire than us, and that was the biggest thing for me. That was the first time in years that I've seen United play with more desire than Liverpool. You know what I mean? Like, Soboslai is the only player in our midfield that can point out, you know what, this guy is playing. Everyone else, they're just lazy or lethargic. They're not there for the physical battle. They're not there to run, and it's so boring, bro. And I told you this. I told you in the group chat that, hey, if we don't sort out the defensive aspect of our midfield, we're going to be found out. And guess what? Hey, we're found out. So bro, we are not going to win the league this season. We're not winning the league this season.
I hear you, see. I get your frustrations. I do. I am going to come to Sam in a minute, but Samuel was waiting backstage for a long time.
Bro,
Samuel.
Wait, hold up. Can I ask you a question, bro? Like a real quick question.
Yeah.
In your honest opinion, when you look at Liverpool and how we play, how we set up defensively in an attacking sense, do you see a team that has a desire, the physicality, the tactical nous to win the league this season ahead of Arsenal?
Not right this second. But do you
Thank
have
you.
the players and do you have the
Well,
coach?
that's the thing, bro. That's the thing. And is this not what I said? As like I think this was before we even signed Alexander Isak. I said this. We don't have it in us.
No, but you do. But it's some of the players have got to step up, and the manager's got to make changes. You could go
It's
out
not the players, bro. It's not the players. When the manager is not getting the best out of anyone, he's not getting the best out of Verts. He's not getting the best out of Kirkes, out of Frimpong, out of Soboslai, out of McAllister. Anyone. He's not getting the best out of anyone.
Trying to help you. You just spent 5 minutes saying that your players aren't physically strong enough. So how can you blame the manager?
But the manager has the whole corn as well. The manager has the whole corn as well.
The point, listen.
Because why in certain games is he picking Salah when Salah's been fucking useless?
Listen, I understand if you microwave a Wagyu steak, it tastes like shit. You might as well not have a Wagyu, right? The point I'm making is...
I've never even had Wagyu steak. Come on, I'm from South Africa. We don't even know what Wagyu steak is.
That's bullshit. You got great food in South Africa. I've been there. Like, at the end of the day...
What did you eat? What did you eat?
Probably got the best steaks.
I've got to crack on with the show, right? I
get you, mate.
I went to a kickboxing tournament in Sun City 23 years ago. I just remember some nice food. I don't remember everything specifically. It was 23 years ago. But I think you can play better football, but certain players have
Yes, we can.
Please let me finish. But your manager has also got to find a solution. He found one on Wednesday, and he reverted back today. See ya. Thank you, bro.
Yes.
I appreciate it. Samuel, what went wrong tonight, bro? We sat here on Wednesday. You went to a 4-4-2. You dropped Salah. You brought Robinson back in. You played much better football, defensively more sound. But tonight, your manager went back to the same very system, approach, almost lineup that had lost all those other games. What went wrong, Samuel?
You picked Salah.
Samuel.
I've been saying this for the past couple of weeks now, and it's getting boring for me. We went back to a system that has been failing us for... Oh, sorry, I want to give me a second. Yeah, we went back to a system that's been failing us for time, and we went to a system that actually worked, that actually gave us a little bit of stability. Yes, it was against Brentford, but everybody on the panel on that night said, "Do you know what? Run it back. Let's get some momentum. Let's get some form." What does Arne Slot do? Goes back to the same system that we've been losing in. At this point, if he continues, I'm Slot out. Because you can't be doing the same thing over and over and over again, thinking you can get a different result. It's showing me that you can actually think of something to stabilize the team, but you choose not to do it. That's a problem. That is a mad problem. It's just like, I wouldn't say it's extreme, but remember Postecoglou, who was trying to die on that hill of the way of the kind of football that he wants to play, and then against Man United in the Europa League final, he goes and plays differently and wins it. That's what I can see from Arne Slot. Like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to die on this hill? And the players, listen, at a point, yes, Salah scored, but we need to stop playing Salah. And I'm saying stop playing Salah because he's only got 2 years on his contract. We're going to eventually move on from him. So let's start moving on now. I don't know why Chiesa hasn't started yet. When we look at our first... Actually, this is another point. In the past couple of games, when you look at our first halves, except for the Frankfurt game, we practically lose the game from the first half because our first halves are that crap. We allow teams to get us on the back burner from time. That's on Arne Slot. That's from the system that he plays, from the the players that he picks for the team, that's on him. But then on the players are missing opportunities when we're getting into good opportunities. Some guilt opportunities as well. Now, we didn't have too many against Brentford, but do you know what? At this point, I was just looking at the screen and just thinking, if we carry on, actually, no, I'm going to say this. It's going to carry on. We're going to lose our next match. Let's be honest. And it's going to be a top 4 race for us. It's going to be a top 4 race. There's no title race because our manager keeps on doing the same thing every time. And to a point, I'm slot out. I can't lie. I'm slot out. When I'm seeing a pattern or something, when I'm seeing that he's doing the same stupidness that is making us lose, then yeah, you can't continue with this team.
That's all, bro.
Listen, I hear you. Husam, how are you feeling? You know, quite a lot of people in the chat tonight are slot out. It's trending on social media. Samuel has said it. Are you slot out tonight, Husam?
No, I'm not slot out. Not yet, anyway. But we are in a top 4 race. It's no longer it's no longer a title race. Title's done. So good luck to City and Arsenal. Whichever team is the best one will win it this season. So we ain't gonna win the league. It's done. We have to focus on the cups now. And funny enough, it's another team who has long throws and set pieces and corners this Wednesday, Crystal Palace. So yeah, must be a lot of fun playing against 3 at the back again. But yeah, title race is done. It's finished. We're in a top 4 race now. Still people blame individuals. It's crazy. We concede 3 goals and Samuel picks out Salah to speak about. If we want to talk about the 2 players who renewed their contract, Van Dijk was significantly worse than Mo today. And I mean significantly worse than him. But because he's our captain...
Husam, you're the last person to even talk about my opinions. Please don't. Just talk about your opinion.
I didn't interrupt you. Let me speak. I didn't interrupt you. Let me speak. Let me speak.
Cool. But the whole jab's childish.
I'm not. I didn't throw a jab. I said the only individual you called up Salah. I lie. Did you name any other individual in the team? No, you didn't.
Husam,
I didn't lie.
But you did throw a jab at Van Dijk, though.
I'm not going to go in the back and forth with you.
I didn't throw a jab on Van Dijk. My opinion is still
You
the
did.
same. I still think that I don't think that it's 11 players all to blame because it's logically impossible for it to be 11 players' fault. It's just by definition. It cannot be 11 players' fault. Look, he played the same team that 90% of us would have wanted. I personally, in my preview, I put Chiesa on the right and I put Robertson at left back. So other than Kerkez and Salah coming in, it's basically the same style, if you would like. But it's the methods that's causing us to concede so many chances. It's the methods that's causing us to not be creative enough, meaning asking the fullbacks to invert, even though their strengths are probably overlapping. Verts and Ektike running into each other on the football pitch. Big up Uncle Albert who pointed out something today. He's like, okay, we get it. We don't have a DM right now. Whether it's Gravenberg or whoever, we don't have a DM right now. So by definition, as the manager, you should be asking one of the midfielders to just sit tight in front of the centre backs. And we didn't do that. Like as an example, the second goal, it's become a joke right now, but one pass is all it takes is a reality. I'm sorry, there is no way where Liverpool should be conceding a goal where, okay, Ektike loses the ball. Ektike and Verts are occupying the same area. They're trying to pass it to each other. Damsgaard gets the ball, and from that area, all it takes is just one pass in behind Konate, and we concede a one-on-one. We don't concede just like a half chance. We concede a one-on-one with a ball in behind Konate. Like, that should not be happening in any way, shape, or form. And that's what I mean. Like, it's not even like individuals' fault. It's not like a player's fault. It's not one guy is to blame for everything. Kerkez has been attacked by this fan base a lot. He scored today. When he overlapped, I thought he put 2-3 good crosses in. Salah has been blamed by the fan base. He scored as well today. But it's not like one guy to blame for all this. Today, Florian Wirtz, he didn't look good out there on the football pitch. He didn't. He couldn't play make, couldn't create anything for us. We could also say he could have scored in the first half. Ektike didn't look good today. None of the substitutes looked good today. And the infamous formation that we all loved after Man United came back, the 3-1-6. Slot puts on all the forwards, and the only midfielder we have out there on the pitch is McAllister. So I ask the same question that I ask after Man United. Okay, so we have all forwards on the pitch. Great. So who's going to give the ball to the forwards? One midfielder. McAllister by himself is supposed to give the ball to the forwards, and the rest of the team is just sat there watching. We were limited to long balls because we had to, because there's no way to find the forwards other than a long ball. So that's the thing. It's a tactical issue. It's the one thing that I will blame from the players today actually is not any individual. Today there was a lack of fight, there was lack of belief, there was a lack of hunger. There is a lack of passion from this team, and this has nothing to do with Slot. These things that I just named, which is mentality issues, which is mannerism issues, has nothing to do with Slot. Not everything is Slot's fault. As an example, today when Salah scored the second goal, usually what we're used to, at least for the last 8 years, is okay. Now the team will fight. Now the team is going to try to bombard Brentford's net. They were closer to scoring the fourth than us the third. The players didn't believe. The players themselves lack belief. The players themselves don't believe in this style. And for me, I'm sorry, with all the talent out there, we should be dominating teams like Brentford. It's all well and good if, like, Liverpool Football Club today hit the post 4 or 5 times. We created so many chances, and Brentford scored 1-0 from a corner or something. That didn't happen. Brentford actually had higher XG than us. They created the more dangerous chances. They created the more dangerous chances even in open play. So that's why, for me, Slot has to fix this. It's now on him. He has to fix it. He has to figure out a style and a way that suits these players. He keeps harping on about PSG. We don't have PSG type players. So the whole concept of PSG, put it in the bin immediately. We need to find our own style that actually works, because what we're doing out there on the football pitch is not working. And we can't keep running it back over and over and over again, because at some point in time, even the calmer people in the fan base will turn. Like, you lose 5 Premier League games in a row. Hodgson didn't lose 5 in a row.
I hear you. XG, it's only on FootMob. I know different websites have different numbers, but FootMob have your XG is the same, 2.21 each. They had 17 shots, you had 18. They, though, scored 50% of their big chances that were created today. You only scored 20%. Sorry, you did. I mean, Mo Salah's chance wouldn't even be considered a big chance. You missed 5 big chances where they scored 3 big chances. This is, again, very similar to your previous losses, where you had 5, 6, 7 in all those games, in all those defeats, big chances to score, and you missed most of them. There is still a conversion rate issue here, where Brentford, you think about their 3 goals were all big chances, because penalties are. What do you mean?
Because the big chances on paper, a lot of them happened towards the end. Like, a lot of them happened towards the end, where basically the game was done at 3-1. That's number one. Number 2 as well. The other thing that I want to say is, we point out that, okay, the XG was the same. First of all, me having the same XG as Brentford in itself is not a thing to show off. The second thing is, they had more shots on target than us.
That isn't true. I've just clicked on it now. 4 of your 5 big chances came in the first half.
Okay, fair enough. I stand corrected if I said that. Fair enough. I stand corrected.
Can I please ask Husam a question?
Let me just say this. The fact that Brentford had 17 shots against us in itself shows you the biggest problem in this team. The defensive side. 14 goals conceded in 9 games. We've conceded double the goals that Sunderland have. We've conceded the same amount of goals as Leeds, as Fulham. We conceded more goals than Villa, Spurs, Everton.
The defensive issues are definitely.
Go on,
Kmack.
The big chance thing, which is a problem for us, is we're not converting our big chances, but we are behind in games when we're getting those big chances. So there's more pressure to score that big chance because it's an equaliser. And it's to get you back in the game. And we haven't got the players that have got enough belief. And Husam hit the nail on the head. Like, I have no idea what's going on in the background at Liverpool. Like, I was on his show last night, and basically all I wanted from this Brentford game was for us to have done our homework. We don't do our homework on any team that we play against now. It's like we walk into the game thinking we've got it sewn up because we're the better team. We've got more expensive players. We won the league last season. Fuck me, you've got to work your ass off to win any Premier League game. Arnie Slot said this last season. Like, he said that every game that last season, we won by 1 goal and we worked so hard to win. What are we doing now? Like, well, what happened to last season to this season then, Arnie? Because you're getting done on the things that you are criticising other teams about, as in long ball and long throws and set pieces, we're getting done on them over and over again. And you're also talking in your pre-press conferences about what our weaknesses are. Like, the arrogance of this guy right now, it's arrogant now. And the fact that we spent a week working on the 4-4-2 formation, and we know this because Virgil van Dijk told the media after the Germany game, like, we need to stop talking about our problems and what our weaknesses are, because other managers are listening and they're catching us out. And Virgil van Dijk said we worked a week on that 4-4-2 and it got us a 5-1 win. And then we just binned it. Nah, you know what? We don't need to do that against Brentford.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Can
I ask Husam a quick question?
Wait, hold on. Can I please ask the Liverpool man a question? Can I please ask the Liverpool guys a question, especially Husam? Like, if you look at last season, the reason last season we were as successful as we were, is it's because we defended so well as a team, right? It's not because one player was the lighthouse, as Klopp described Fabinho. It's because we defended as a team. This season, it seems like Slot has no answers for our teams are playing against us. He just says that our teams are playing long balls now, and we're not winning second balls. Where are the answers for that? So my question is, why is he not playing players that are in form? Look at Chiesa. Chiesa, every time he's played for Liverpool, he's come up with a goal involvement. Look at when we played our last Champions League game against Frankfurt.
Chiesa
came on. Hold on. Husam,
because hold on.
A goal
from a throw.
Listen, when I say some people need to be dropped, they get brain farts. That
hold, guys, please hold. Bambe, like, it seems like Slot, there are certain players that he doesn't want to play. Look at Gakpo. Gakpo on the left side with Kirkes, he's not playing to the strengths of Kirkes. Kirkes, we know he's a high on the left side. We play him on the overlap, but Gakpo, he just cuts back. He doesn't play the ball to Kirkes. So I am one of the very first advocates of Aneslo coming in as our manager, but I think in his capacity as a manager, he's not getting the best out of our players.
See ya.
He just isn't.
I don't mean to be sorry, guys. I don't mean to be rude. What was your actual question? Because you kind of just said something.
Yeah.
Please forgot.
What was your question?
I'm sorry, bro. You cut off. I didn't hear your question.
On my lineup pre-game.
I didn't hear your question, bro. You literally cut out.
No. You said you were going to ask a question. You just went on a rant. What was your question?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. My question is, what are the other guys expecting from Slot as a manager to ask from the players? Because it just doesn't seem like he's getting the best out of our players. He's not getting the best out of anyone.
Cool. So let me go to Ram. Ram, answer that for us, please, Ram.
You're on mute.
You're on mute. Your mic's muted.
Sorry about that. I think it's a culmination of things. One thing's for sure. One of our best assets last season is that we failed to give away clear-cut chances. Even when we had the best goalkeeper in the world last season, he rarely had to make a world-class save because the chance that we limited teams was nigh on impossible. I think the XG was around about 0.0 something.
Yeah, the angles.
That's how good we were defensively. The organization of the team in general is just all over the place. Not having a recognized six, whilst Gravenberch, even though Gravenberch is in the eyes of the football club a recognized six, he's asked to play as an 8. The whole total football thing, we attack as a team and we defend as a team. There's a reason why that still stays in the 1970s. It don't work no more. It had to be tweaked. It took Johan Cruyff to tweak it, then it took Pep Guardiola to tweak it even further. There's a reason why people don't play with that anymore. I think also a mentality issue's got to be talked about. Like the fact that a lot of these players had decent opportunities, like Wirtz had a great opportunity in the edge of box, and I expect him to put that in the back of the net. But overall, when you have to rely on your left back, who, let's be honest, defensively was ridiculously poor. Like my man was heading it back towards the corner flag instead of to Mamardashvili. That's how bad it got. When you're relying on players like that to get you a goal, then you know there's something wrong. Whether it's in the midfield or the attack, the synchronization, the chemistry between everyone is just not there. Maybe it's a point to prove that we have to play the team that played last season, i.e. the likes of Robertson comes back in, a change in system. The two up top worked in Frankfurt. Why don't you use that again? But overall, like I said on Wednesday, and I got cooked for it. I was called negative at the time. Frankfurt didn't tell me a lot of things. Today will tell me a lot, and it showed. Like
question for Ram.
You're telling
if you guys need to go back to your lineup you had last season, does that mean that all of your signings are flops?
No, just
come on, bro. That's so reductionist.
Did you not listen to what I just said, or you just listened to one thing?
I did, but then I heard that, and I'm like,
none of them are
good enough to start for Liverpool anymore.
One thing I said, chemistry.
That's one you want to hear.
Chemistry between the team.
Sorry. Just let Ram and Anton do. Just too many voices. Sorry, guys.
Anton,
go on, gents.
The thing I said the most was chemistry. The chemistry between the team is just not there. People not knowing where they're running, people not knowing what positions they'll occupy. One thing you need is continuity. And one thing I give so much flowers to Jurgen Klopp. He knows when to bring new players into the squad. He knows when they're ready to play in the first team. You look at what happened with Fabinho. People forget, Robertson didn't see pitch until January. Alberto Moreno was our starting left back. And then Robertson came in January and he started to become the best left back in the world from there on. Like, these are things that you have to take into account. Was I excited about the signings? 100%. We're strengthening a title-winning squad. I thought personally, Arne Slot won't change too much, but we'll bring in players that will elevate us. But the fact that he's brought everybody in and things aren't working, the only option that you have left is to go back to the team where the majority of them were playing last season.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
But,
can I ask a question? May I ask a question?
Go for it.
Husam said something I feel that's very damning. He said that the team lack fight and the team lack belief. Now, generally, when a team lacks fight and a team lacks belief, that means generally they don't believe in the manager's tactics, ideas, and how he wants them to play, or the positions he wants them to, or the duties he wants them to fill out. If that is the case, generally managers like that don't turn it around and they generally lose it and it slips even further. So the question I pose, if that is the case, that the team lacks fight, but most importantly, the team lacks belief, as stated by Husam earlier on, are we still comfortable with Slot being in charge?
No,
don't we just do the Marinakis? Don't we just do the Marinakis thing and just let him go?
There's only one player. There's only one player in this team that showed fight and show that they want to win, in my opinion, and that was Dominic Szoboszlai. That's the only player that I feel like is actually playing on this pitch. The only player in this team that's actually performing at a consistent level that's good enough to represent Liverpool Football Club this entire season. Everybody else has been way, way, way under par.
He's gone. He's gone by Christmas. He's doing exactly the same things. Like, even when he's losing a game,
win the title and gone by Christmas. Wow.
He's taken midfielders off. He's taken his right back off again, which he does in every single game, and moves Dominic Szoboszlai there. Like, why? And then he brought Gomez on because he needed Dominic Szoboszlai to then move up into midfield. Like, the guy is totally out of his depth. I said it on your last show, Terry. Said it on your last show. He's totally out of his depth. He was coasting on a formula that worked and a team that had a cohesive attitude and a winning mentality for years and years. And he's brought all these players in and he's made them feel like big-time Charlies. Like, they're all being paid wedge. Like, there isn't a player at Liverpool who hasn't been signed who's on over 200 grand. Like, they are all being paid wedge. He's being paid wedge. He thinks he can walk on water now. Like, the hard work starts when you start your new formation and your new teammate, and it doesn't look like you've even started. Like, genuinely, we've had the worst preseason we've had in a long time. We didn't get to bed any players in properly. Like, the whole Isaac thing was a mess. Like, the whole signing situation doesn't look like any of the players were profiled for the formation that you were actually playing. It looks
Is
like
that
they were
his fault?
profiled
Though?
for what you
That would
played
be
last season.
the director of football's
It's
issue.
wild.
Though.
It is wild.
No,
what's
it's
going
not
on
the
with
director
Liverpool
of
right now.
football issue. Listen, I want to say one thing to answer the question. Look, the players fighting has nothing to do with the manager. That's on them. They have to individually like actually want to win a game of football. So that's not like not everything is to blame on Slot. I say Slot is 80% to blame before, and I stick by it. I think that's a fair number, because when 10 outfield players look like shit, by definition it cannot be just every single individual like, oh, this guy dropped that guy. We dropped 100 different people throughout from when the season started, and it just doesn't look good for the last 5-6 games. Now, in terms of like the whole Slot being sacked thing or whatever it is, look, we can have our opinions, and if people are slot out, that's fine. I don't think it's wrong to be that way. But Kmack is saying by Christmas, I'm looking at our next 4 games: Palace, Aston Villa, Madrid, Manchester City.
Yeah,
Forget
okay.
by Christmas. He might not make Christmas in Liverpool to begin with, the way these 4 games are happening. So, like, at the end of the day, listen, every manager has a cutoff point. Like, as much as Liverpool are a prideful club in terms of, like, we don't sack a lot of managers, and I think that's something that we maintain. Like, Liverpool Football Club will always give some people, a manager, a chance. Like, you're not going to get a chance. Everyone will get a chance at Liverpool. But at the end of the day, if we're going to be objective about this, it's not like you can lose the next 4 games and still keep your job. Like, even Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes, I'm sure they'll make the tough decision. In terms of recruitment, look, if you wanted to play a certain style, I think the wrongest transfer of the summer was Florian Wirtz. Because if you want to play this style, the correct transfer to make was Adam Wharton. The correct transfer to make was a regular midfielder, if you'd like, not a 10. Because it makes no sense the way that we're applying him on the pitch. It makes no sense the positions that we're putting him on. We're not putting a single player in a position to succeed. I do agree with Ram. Szoboszlai is the only player, and Curtis Jones for me as well to an extent, the only 2 players that deserve credit. The rest of the team all can get it. There is no single individual that's like solely to blame in today's game. Even as an example, Ekitike today. All of us love Ekitike. He saved us many times this season. This is probably Ekitike's worst game in a Liverpool shirt. Like, he lost the ball for the second goal, as an example. You get me? So all of these things, they come together, and you have to think, look, 10 outfield players look like crap. It's on the manager to fix the way that we play. Put them in a position to succeed, and if they still look like shit, we will realize it's the player's fault. But he's not putting them in a position to succeed. And by the way, the first goal that he conceded, speaking about, like, long throw-ins and stuff, the first goal shows you how pathetic defensively we are, because it's not even like some crazy tactic long throw or anything. It's the most basic long throw you'll see in your life. Long throw, header down back post, goal. Like, I think Terry could make a style to combat that long throw right there. It's very basic. It's very simple. Defend back post, win the first header. Most basic thing.
You're now a coach.
Why are you saying fuck you for? What I do?
I said you can defend it. I didn't say fuck
I get it. I want to jump to some super chats because I don't want to ignore the chat for too long. Where did I get to? This is actually to you, Ash. It says, Ash, on a scale of 1 to 10, how scared are you of Sunderland?
0. Why would I be scared of Sunderland?
That means a bit. Anyone who says they're not scared at all is a liar.
Listen, the only thing that I'm slightly worried about is we play Sunderland on the 14th of December, and I have a Christmas dinner at Sunderland with my family on Christmas Day. So if we lose, it's going to ruin Christmas. So let's not do that.
Ash, they're deflecting. This is Liverpool's cooking, not yours.
This is true. This here is maybe one of the greatest super chats I've ever read. It goes, well, Husam, you did call this in the beginning. You did say you'd be putting your feet up this season.
I hate super chats like this, because last season when I was doing Leopard in the Tree, why are you running the underdog gimmick? And when I'm confident, why are you confident? So
no. He's not having a go at you for being confident. It's a kind of sarcastic take of saying, like, now you are putting your feet up because you're saying the title race is over. You were right. It's just fun.
Yeah. City and Arsenal. It's not us.
Whiskey and Coke, come on, Man United, you can do better. Listen, I'm going to say this very quickly because I don't want to disrespect the super chat. Man United, we're not in no title race. We're not even in the top 4 race. We're punching above our weight at the minute.
I don't agree with you, Terry.
They're the leopard.
You guys are ahead
right?
of Liverpool in the title race. You guys are ahead of them on points.
We're not getting into it. We're not getting
Welcome
into
to the title race.
No. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. We are not doing that. I am here for the Liverpool tears. I'm here for the Liverpool tears.
Not sure if I'm watching Galactico Liverpool or second season Ten Hag. Greetings, kind reminder for Husam to please look up the table and mind the gap. United. Liverpool squad and setup is arrogant. No balance is what White Glove PC says here. The last time Brentford won against Liverpool was 1937. I swear they've beaten them in the Premier League. They've beaten them recently in the Premier League.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
They're beating us 22.
Yeah. On set pieces, funny enough.
Oh, no. Do you know what it is? I think it's maybe... I don't know. You only beat 1-0. Anyway, Ange might still be in the UK. Give him a call and sack Slot. We know what you do he would do with this squad. Pure attacking football. Yeah, and that would exploit this high line as well. Because I will say as well, I know it's not really been mentioned, but Van Dijk today, another... I will point
Bit
this
of a
out.
howler.
Van Disney.
Hey, yo, I can't wait for Haaland to go up against Van Dijk. I cannot wait for Haaland to go up against Van Dijk. It's going to be so tasty. I'll wait.
How many
I'll be here for that cooking as well.
Van Dijk?
I'm not really sure what Van Dijk's supposed to do. Like, he's literally got 5 players running at him consistently, like from the opposition.
Why are you guys as Liverpool?
Quick question. Why is Konate so slow on that goal? Like, I was watching the goal over and I'm like, Konate, are you running? What's happening? Do we have Timberland boots or what's happening?
He got caught on the halfway line as well, didn't he?
It's two things. It's two with the goal, or just because I've just seen it back. One, his positionally, he's not on the right because he's constantly twisting himself, which immediately slows you down. And one, Shader's fast, man. Shader's a very, very quick attacker. Like, not many people will catch up with Shader, especially when he's got his stride on. So, it is what it is. Well taken goal.
Ash, you were going to say something.
Through the entire team.
Ash, you were going to say something then.
I just really don't understand why Liverpool fans, like, it's been one thing that keeps on getting not spoke about is how crap your keeper is. Like, I know obviously Alisson is an unbelievable keeper, but I'm just going to say this right now. So he's conceded 7 goals, right? 2.5 of them are apparently goals that could have been prevented. He's got minus 2.5 goals prevented. That's a crazy stat for 7 goals conceded. Like,
when we look at these goals prevented stat, how are they looking at it?
They look at it. It's to do with XG. So basically, if you have a 1 XG chance of scoring,
what goals are you blaming him for? What goals?
I blame him for the Mbumo goal, and I blame him for the second goal of this evening.
You're talking about Mamardashvili, not Alisson, right?
Mamardashvili, yeah. He's the one.
So the Mbumo goal, he could have saved that.
You mentioned Alisson.
He could have saved that all day.
No, I said because you're missing Alisson.
The second goal tonight, it gave me Onana vibes. He dived the wrong way.
Yeah.
And he dived too early. Those little things are horrible signs for a goalkeeper. And that was one of the first times when I saw Onana went, oh no, what have we got? When bad fighters do this. And I know this because when I tried to make it as a full contact fighter, I was one of the worst around for, I used to succumb to the feints too much. I would react almost every time to the feints. One, it exhausts you, and then you end up getting caught by real punches a lot easier. And
Mamardashvili
does that. He kind of, in that moment,
anticipate.
Yeah, it's almost like, rather than react, sometimes as a goalkeeper you've got to react, and he isn't reacting. It's almost like he's trying to be proactive, but he went the wrong way.
He did pull off 2 good saves tonight.
I was going to say, like, why are we? Like,
the thing is, the thing is, right? So you look at your second keeper, Man City, behind Donnarumma, James Trafford. If he comes in, you would expect him to do quite well. Like same with us as Newcastle.
Did you see him against Tottenham?
No.
Did you see him against Tottenham?
I'm saying, like, if you compare the two.
The amount of goals that we've conceded this season, which are right in the centre, like directly in the centre of the goal, it's one of the hardest positions to save it as a goalkeeper. Like, it really is, and that's where your defenders come in, and they should be blocking it.
No, but I think there's more to it. I think a lot of people, and I think Liverpool fans as well in general, I think we've been spoiled because we have Alisson. Alisson is one of those keepers along with
Queven.
Courtois.
And
I think
Queven, mate. Queven was sensational for us.
Kelleher did have these kind of things. He did. Well, like Newcastle away springs to mind, but I think we've been too blessed having Alisson in goal. And the only player that I say that has the ability of Alisson is Courtois. And you're talking about the cream of the crop, the very, very, arguably one of the greatest ever goalkeepers of our generation.
Ram, this is, I spoke a lot about this with City, and I did it with Liverpool as well. When you go for a period where you have some of your greatest ever players, so you've had maybe your greatest goalkeeper in the last 30, 40 years anyway, you've had your greatest goalkeeper, your greatest centre-back, your greatest attacker. You've had that. You had your greatest midfield unit, maybe not your greatest individual, because that was definitely in the last 30, 40 years, Steven Gerrard. But when you have all your greatest in one period, you just have to look at it from a balance of probability. How likely is it the next person is as good as your greatest ever? It's just unlikely because of the competition. And again, if Liverpool and Man United, if it was like Spain, where we had all the money and no one else had it, it would be a lot easier to do it. And if you were seen as the two biggest teams in the world, or two of the biggest teams, and you had the most attraction and you had the most money, you'd be able to like pick who you want. But it's very hard to go from an Alisson. Whoever comes in next, it is so likely they're not as good. Whoever replaces Salah is not going to be as good. You look at City. No one who replaces KDB is going to be of his level. Maybe they actually might have upgraded on Edison, to be fair, in terms of shot stopping, because Donnarumma might be. But the day, if Haaland does another 1 year, another 10 years, there's going to come a point where they get a new striker, and it will feel, even if the new striker is good, it might still feel a bit shit because of how good that guy's levels are. And often it's all about perspective. You know, you could put the fastest Olympic female sprinter in the world, put her in a decent level men's race, and she'll look slow because perspective is in there. And that's what happens sometimes. And I think Mamardashvili did have a bad day tonight, but I think there's a perspective thing here of how good, because Alisson for me does save Mbumo's shot last weekend. He just saves those all the time. I think he might save Sharda, or at the very least, he makes players miss because of how good he is.
Yeah, everyone's scared of 1v1 in Alisson. Like, it's a known thing. And do you know what one thing I have been thinking about? That what I think Liverpool has messed up so much with their recruitment is what happened in August. So you guys obviously got XTK in early. He came in, hit the ground running. But then what did you guys do? You spent 130 million at the end of the summer, at the end of the window, on Isak. And what do you have to do? You have to bring someone that's your world transfer record in. He has to be starting up front. Obviously, he had no preseason, so obviously you can say that. But when he comes in and he's not smashing in goals because obviously he's not had a preseason, obviously it puts pressure on him. And then what happens? Because he's injury prone, he gets injured, and then it's creating an issue where you guys are not having stability up front. And then obviously you spent all this money on Wirtz. Wirtz has to start as well. This money has to make these players start. And if they're not performing instantly, it's going to have an impact. And then what do you guys want to do as fans? You want to bring in other players that are on the bench that have previously done well. And if they don't do too well or do okay, you're like, right, well, we need to start him. But in actuality, you just spent 115 million, 120 million on like Wirtz, 130 million on Isak. Like, these players need to play. And Slot knows that. And obviously, Isak's having a stinker.
I said this a while ago, and people were like, nah, everything's going to be fine. I said that we had a major problem because when we started the season, we decided to change everything. Like, we play completely different football. We do inverted on the left and the right. We don't really have a midfield now. We play like 5 up front for some strange reason. So we've changed a lot of the whole structure of the team. And my thought was, how difficult is that if you've got a load of players that have played for Jurgen Klopp for God knows how many years? Yeah, they're set in the 4-4-3 system. Okay, you tweaked it last season slightly, but they all knew how to play it. Like, they could literally play that formation in a smoking jacket. Like, most of them, they've done it so long. You're now got a new season, lots of new players. They've come from different formations and leagues to then transition to the way they play at Liverpool. but now you're also changing everything for the players that know how to play what you did previously at the same time. So you've got all the new guys who've now got to come into Liverpool and learn a new system, and you've got all the old guys who've now got to learn a new system.
Do you know what came back? But for me,
fundamental flaw.
I hear you, but that's why for me though, I'm looking more at
your club as well, by the way, mate.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying this. That's more your sporting directors than manager and players. Because if I'm sitting there as a sporting director and you guys
those players,
but that's irrelevant, right? Who are the players? This is the way I look at it, right? We all know, because your manager said it, he barely changed anything from Slot. People like myself sat there and went, this is how you transition managers. You don't change, you don't reinvent the wheel. You don't try and fix what isn't broken. You just make slight adaptations, but you continue along the same path and in the same direction. If you buy players, the 5-6 new players, and then you're going to change massive elements of the way you play all at the same time, when you're at the peak of your powers, you're winning the league comfortably. Yes, you didn't get maximum points. That's because you were fucking on beaches and yachts for the last 5 games of the season. It was actually quite funny to watch you guys partying all week and then playing a football match. It is what it is, right? It was nice to actually see people not caring about points totals and just caring about winning the league. I'm looking at the sporting directors and going, how on God's green earth have you allowed anyone to go, we're going to change it? My message would have been, no, you're fucking not. Why would you change something? Like, if I buy a YouTube channel and they get millions of views a week because they make mini documentaries, which is sort of, it's not panel shows, it isn't opinion pieces, it's just mini documentaries all about weird and quirky things to do with footballers. Say I buy that channel. Anyone who's advising me or working on stuff, if I went, oh guys, I want to change it. We didn't change it to. We're going to start doing. I'm just going to upload opinion pieces on Championship football. I'd expect my advisors around me to go, you fucking moron. You're going to crash and kill the channel because that isn't what it's subscribers. That isn't the way it works. That doesn't make, that isn't what those people want, right? Make those mini docs better. Maybe do the mini docs, maybe do a bigger series that comes out. Do something, but why would you change something that's working? You'd be an idiot to do it. And that's how I view what's going on at Liverpool right now. If what I'm hearing from Liverpool fans is true, if Slot has been allowed to change 50, 60, 70% of the way you play, if the players don't match what he's trying to build, the players who already had don't match what they're trying to do, that for me is the most backward step. Forget sacking Slot. Forget selling players. What FSG need to do is get rid of the idiots that allowed that to happen, because they are the biggest culprits here. I said it about Ten Hag. He had to go in the end. But for me, he was never the villain. The villain was the person who hired Ten Hag, allowed him to recruit players that work for the system that he was famous for, and then didn't force the fucker to implement it. That not forcing him to implement the system for those players, that there is the criminal. That for me is I said it before, I say it again. That is like hiring the best steak chef in the world and going, you're making desserts, bruv. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous if what you're saying is true.
Terry, this brings me back to the day we had the show after the window closed, and you asked, "Oh, do you think Liverpool won the window?" And I said no. And the reason why I said no was because the wife asked them, "Hey, I need some chicken tonight for dinner," and they went to the supermarket and they bought caviar and they bought steak and they bought candy. But what they did not bring home for dinner? Chicken. So you can have all.
We don't know, but this is the thing: we don't know. We don't know if the manager would have sanctioned it as well, because we all know
tonight, you know.
We all know that the manager wanted a new left back. He wanted a forward to come in. We had to get another one, obviously, with the situation with Diogo. We just don't know whether the manager actually. Can I ask a question?
Ram, let me ask you a question before I finish your super chats. Do you think there is a possibility that maybe the signings are just bad? Like, I'm not saying they are. Do you think there is a possibility that maybe 3 or 4 of these signings are just not as good as we all think they are?
Well, was bad footballers, or just
they just don't fit what you want to do. Like, what's confusing me is why you bought Frimpong, who is not a left back, a right back. Sorry, he's not a right back. He's a right winger. I watched him at Leverkusen. He is legitimately a right winger, and you brought him to Liverpool to play right back. Kirkes literally received the ball, was on long balls last season for Bournemouth to help link play with Semenyo, and you brought him to be a left back. Like
Profiling.
you
Yeah, but
need a
that's
left back and a right back. You brought the wrong profiles completely.
Profile
came
for
back
4-3-3
agreeing with me.
that sort of stuff. Yeah, I have a look at the manager as well, because Robertson was a overlapping fullback. Kirkes is more or less a similar profile to him. If you wanted an inverted fullback, why didn't you get Jarrell Hato?
You see,
We all know that you wanted Jarrell Hato. Why didn't you get him if you wanted to do the inverted?
there is an argument though about Frimpong.
Plays for Arsenal now.
There is an argument about the Frimpong though.
Capier.
Perfect inverted fullback.
Would you guys say Trent Alexander?
Malassi is available if you want him.
Would you say Trent is a natural right back?
On loan.
Would you say Trent? Yeah, would you say Trent was a natural right back?
Yes, best in the world.
Yeah, he was for years. Like 7 years.
Yes,
on the
but
top.
obviously one of the main things.
I've seen and defensively the best. That's
No, not a natural right back. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Is one of the ideas was
we just
maybe
to bring for the whole
was
thing.
to bring someone that could be a right back that can actually be further up the field to try and complement Salah, because evidently that might be the thought process behind it, was because Trent, let's face it, I mean, he flipping wasn't a right back, was he? Because he couldn't defend for shit. Like his crossing and everything was the best part of his game, and his set piecing is
Ash, if you're looking last season,
that's not Frimpong's game.
If you look at what Trent did if you look at what Trent did with Klopp in the early years of Klopp when he was with Salah, he was doing exactly what we thought Frimpong would do, which is go further forward, help create chances, interplay with Salah, get into the box at times to put in a good ball in. That's what I thought the team was going to do, because like you guys said, he's a wing back. He's a proper wing back. He only goes forward. He's very good going forward. The only thing it doesn't make sense is why we're asking him to underlap, invert, go into the midfield instead of using one of his best assets, which is his speed, his ability. People forget how in the Bundesliga he was very hard to get the ball off because he was so quick and he was so nimble.
Yeah.
And that's one of his best assets. And we're not using it, man. And again, it goes back to the manager. The manager's one of the biggest things he said last season. I am here to get the maximum output out of all these players, and right now he's not doing it.
That's a very fair point. This is it. Really they really tried to add daylight savings time to time early for Liverpool to score. Still didn't work. Walk on with no points today, and you'll never win away. No
points for over a month. Crazy.
We won in Frankfurt, mate. Do better.
Can I also say as well, like obviously in the league, a lot of the Liverpool fans are obviously pissed off.
He didn't say that though.
Brentford were brilliant tonight.
Yeah,
they played exactly how they wanted to play. Like Brentford, really good.
Brentford's model is exactly what I thought Liverpool were doing, and I'm only starting to doubt what Liverpool were doing now. Brentford have just hired a coach. Doesn't matter that he was a set piece coach. Doesn't matter. They hired someone that's perfect for the profile of players and the way they operate. Absolutely. And I honestly think the big clubs have got to start taking a leaf out of the smaller clubs' books. They get it right when they move on from people. And I thought Liverpool had done it seamlessly. Right now, I am questioning it. This year says Klopp's players don't like Slot. It's obvious. Nah, that's not true. They got on well last year.
I'll tell you what. Why weren't Liverpool, like as fans? Why were you so not annoyed with like Brentford players? Because like when I was watching like stuff like Thiago, like when the throw was going in and he picked up another ball and ran onto the pitch just to like delay the game even further. It was such shit.
Bro, you do what you got to do to win, man. Obviously, it's annoying.
Ash, I'll tell you this. I've been doing this for a long time. Liverpool fans are past. That's why they're not. One of them have moaned about the Gakpo penalty. They're so past the external things and focus on themselves. This is what happens 5 wins in. 1 or 2 wins, you always focus on shithousery referees. When you get to this stage, it's different. Ivape says, if you watched your own manager's press conference, he said you are creating the most chances from open play. That is a good team. Even if you lose to Brentford, you know that, or just watch your manager's presser.
There's a timing.
There's a lot of truth to what he's saying.
Can I respond to what the super chat said?
Samuel's not spoke for a bit. Go on, Samuel. Answer that for us, please. Thank you.
Yeah, it's quite frustrating. I can't lie with that super chat, because when it says we're creating the most chances from open play, actually were not doing it effectively at all. At all. And the chances that we're getting, they're not actually clear-cut chances. They're chances where we're getting half chances, but that's really it. And I'll say this. This is where I do blame it, and I've seen a pattern of this from a couple of games back now. Second half, when we do get some chances, the players are messing up. The players are fluffing their passes. They're fluffing their shots. They're doing things that last season you thought, okay, this is what Liverpool also are accustomed to doing. Now it's got to a point where we don't even know how to strike a ball properly. Like it's too consistent of that.
Just mad, Sam. For me, it shows how. I mean, I've been speaking about this for 5, 6, 7 years. Shows what confidence does. Shows what confidence can do. You know, you look at United at the minute, and I'm not getting carried away. My feet are so fucking firmly planted on earth. If there's a thunderstorm, I'm dead. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's one of these things where you can start to see Mbumo now. You can start to see Cunha now. The levels are coming out that we know they're capable of because the confidence is growing. You see with Liverpool's players, every shot, every pass, everything they do is being second guessed because they're in that losing. It reminds me of when you were defending champions last time. And I know you had injuries then.
2021 when we lost 6 in a row at home.
Certain players just turn for that season, just look shit. And we know they weren't crap. And it's sport. So much of sport is in the mind. So much of sport for me. And I think a lot of people underplay that element. And the more games you don't win, the more games and more you lose, the harder it kind of gets to get out of that rut that you're in.
But this is why I said it was so idiotic why he changed the system from Wednesday.
No, 100%,
that was so idiotic.
Stupid on every level.
You had a system where it actually worked.
It's arrogant.
You had a system where it actually worked. We were actually pressing well. The team actually together. The team looked like they actually knew each other in attacking sense, which was something that we haven't seen for the past, even today. And you went back to that. That's what's really been. Why you lot have been talking? The question's been in my head. Slot, why have you gone back to this system? Why have you gone back to this system? Why have you gone back to this system? That's what's been bugging me.
Only he knows.
It's a crazy decision. It really is. This here says, let's also acknowledge it's hard defending titles. But again, I've spoken about that on other shows. We've had those conversations on the terrace. I think that also plays a part. How quickly can tear glands refill? The rate, teared glands refill. The rate Husam's tears are being used is unsustainable. As an Arsenal fan, I believe Liverpool's problems are in defence, not in attack. 2 goals away should be enough to win the game. It's really interesting that you say that, and I don't overly disagree. But United fans are talking about how that now we're scoring more goals, we're becoming slightly better at defending, because when you're not conceding goals, the defence gets a little bit more nervous and vice versa. I think it's 6 of one and 6 of one and 2 threes of another, because we're in this situation of team sport. Yeah, 2 threes.
It's okay. You're allowed to do that.
Whatever. We get that now.
Yeah, I just thought I'd mix it up a little bit. I thought
you're allowed to do it. You're trying to be edgy.
What if it ain't broke? Then fix it, man.
I'm gonna let the dog out the bag, mate. Do you know what I mean? We're gonna. I bet Liverpool fans would love to sing set piece Ole. It is ironic that like you're conceding goals from set pieces and throws after the moaning Carragher did. I can't lie. It's part of me. You know, I believe in the football gods. Sometimes you make these things worse for yourselves. How often do you see in football something said and then it comes back to bite you in the backside? There's something in it. It motivates teams. There's something about it, man.
It's the fact that Arnie said it in the press conference before the game, saying that we've been bad at conceding long throws and long ball. Crazy. And literally,
sometimes
Brentford just went, well, I know what I'm going to do.
I'll be straight away saying, in the gym, work on, I'll be like, get your bands out. This is my band. This is heavy, by the way. So it's a tough band. I'll be like, get the bands out and be moving the arms and working the muscles. You should get one of these, Ram. They sort your life right out. They're so good. They're as good as weights if you're doing properly. But anyway,
I might get one off you, mate, and wear it over my eyes.
I don't want to get involved with what you and your missus get up to, mate. You leave me out. You leave me out. No keys in Marble. This Liverpool prioritised buying on the wrong areas of the pitch. Should have bought Gahey instead of 2 expensive strikers. 5 clean sheets in 28 games. There is one element, and I know you won the league where you lost quite a few of those games, but if you go back into the back end of last season, the form hasn't really changed much.
We were shit.
And
we were shit.
But it goes to show that some of that may have been real, and that's maybe why the system changes happened.
Thank you.
Tried to get Gahey.
Tried to get
Gahey. I mean, the guy was in a Liverpool tracksuit. Like we definitely tried.
Yeah,
I was going to say, you literally tried. It just fell through at the last minute.
Yeah.
Luke, thank you for encouraging everybody to hit the like button. I want to thank everyone who's tuned into the show actually today. It's been a long day considering there was no 12:30 game. I still don't honestly what the fuck are they doing, man? Like, this game was meant to be the 12:30 game. That's why it was on TNT Sport in the UK. I don't get why it was. I actually don't understand how an extra like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh no, it's because it's West London because Chelsea were playing a free, so they had to do it straight after, I'm guessing.
Fuck off. You know what I mean? With the amount of protests that happen in London every weekend, it's all a lot of old bollocks, I'm telling you. But it should have been earlier. But thank you all for tuning in so late here in the UK. I'm off the go. I don't know the results, so nobody ruin it for me. As I'll come, you'll meet Emery and Harry, right? I'm going to watch the UFC now. But thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who's hit the like button.
I was going to say 4-2. Like, didn't you watch the
game? This is going to redirect you to Mo and Husam's channel, so go and support my brothers over there. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in. We're back tomorrow. I am going to watch the UFC, then I'm going to stay up a little bit late, and I'm going to get some music out, and I'm going to make a nice little intro for Fan Channel Review tomorrow. I can't wait. It's going to be beautiful. I might even sing myself tomorrow. I might even sing on camera. Have a little dance. You know what I mean?
Please don't.
I love those. Absolutely love those intros. Oh, man.
This here says Liverpool at game 8 slot out vibes when in reality 30 you're in a title race slot in. Do you know, I will say this. I wonder if anyone put this bet on 3 or 4 weeks ago. Slot to be sacked before Ruben Amorim. That's the maddest. That shows how quickly it can change.
Slot has got more L's than Amorim this season in the Premier League. Look at the table. It's perfectly clear. He has more L's than Amorim this season.
I'll tell you.
That's all I'm
I'll tell
saying.
you something though. Craig from the Anfield
agenda.
Agenda put a £250 bet on Mo Salah coming off the bench to score.
Well, he lost then. He started.
Because he started.
I just realised he didn't come off the bench.
No. Listen, everyone. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. Big love from me. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. Peace.